Hey, Tyler.
Good evening, Josh.
Congratulations on being first in class.
Congratulations to you, too.
I'm a little worried about this speech we have to give.
Why is that?
Well, we're supposed to be giving this graduation address, and I'm worried that people think they won't be able to relate to us. They're probably out there saying, these two are a couple of super smart nerd geniuses. What do they know about a normal high school experience?
Josh, your hypothesis is perfectly preposterous. You and I are just like everyone else. I enjoy finding interval convergence for an infinite series just as much as the next high school student.
Well, I guess I do appreciate a good Lord of the Rings reference, just like your average high school student.
We really did have a quintessential high school experience. Remember our first day when we walked through the freshman tunnel?
No, actually, I missed the bus that day and showed up late.
Oh. Well, how about when we came together as a class and won our very first spirit competition?
No.
Remember, it was when we created scenes from the Lord of the Rings in the hallway. I was Gandalf in it.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and don't you remember those helpful Link Leader sessions?
I always felt a little ripped off because my Link Leaders never seemed to bring as many donuts as other ones. But I really did appreciate having someone help me through that major transition in my life.
Well, we did make it through the freshman year. Do you remember anything from sophomore year?
Well, there was that pandemic project.
Shh, none of us want to remember anything about that. Do you have anything else?
Okay then, how about we just move on to junior year?
Sure. Remember how excited we all were to move into the new school?
Yeah, we all said it looked like an airport, but in a really good way. I loved the natural light and open hallways. It really is the nicest high school I've ever seen.
Yeah. Remember though how that heater didn't work the first 6 months?
Yeah. But it was well worth the sacrifice.
I feel like the thing I remember most from junior year was being introduced into AP classes.
That certainly was a big transition. AP tests are a lot of work, but they're well worth the effort. And South students are up to the challenge. Did you hear that this year, South administered 482 AP tests?
That's impressive. The class of 2012 not only has a focus on academic excellence, but they also have a big focus on school spirit. Remember, as we just mentioned, as a class, as juniors, we outdid the seniors and beat them to win our first spirit trip. And then, as seniors, we did it again.
Yeah, in the 13 years that the spirit trip has been awarded, only 2 other classes have accomplished a similar feat.
And then that brings us to our senior year, most difficult one at all.
Certainly, we had our normal classes in addition to AP tests, athletics, and other activities, applying for college and scholarships, and to top it all off, we had to do our senior projects and senior papers.
It truly was hectic and difficult, but I feel like it was worth it, and I think I learned a lot.
Maybe that was the one thing that really defined our class of 2012. We really put a lot of hard work during our time in high school.
True. From our athletics teams, such as football, basketball, baseball, ski and snowboarding, tennis, and all the others, including our musical groups, such as orchestra, band, and choir, and then our academic clubs, such as Brain Bowl, Torch Honor Society, and the math team. South Memphis students have achieved a lot during these last 4 years.
It's natural to want to avoid doing difficult things, but when we look back, those are the things we're most proud of.
We all have different goals in our life, different paths we wish to pursue, and that's the way it should be. But we each need to work hard if we want to be successful, just as we have been these past 4 years.
Very true. The fact that we're graduating is proof of that.
Many aspects of high school are designed to reward hard work and provide incentives for students to challenge themselves. This has helped us establish that it will be even more important than the class of 2012 once we have left South Memphis.
That reminds me of a quote by Margaret Thatcher. She said, "I do not know anyone who's gotten to the top without hard work. That is the recipe. You will not always get to the top, but you should get pretty near."
It's easy to see the truth of the statement reflected in the lives and careers of people we consider to be successful.
Like Jimmer Fredette, one of Brigham Young University's all-time best basketball players and the leading college scorer in the 2010-2011 season.
Yeah, I think I've heard you mention him in BYU maybe once or twice.
Well, let me tell you, at age 5, he set a goal to play in the NBA. He knew it would be hard work, but he was willing to to make the necessary sacrifices. And he did, playing against adults by age 8, visiting a local prison in order to play against convicts, and sacrificing many other activities in order to practice basketball with his older brother for hours each day. He certainly is reaping the rewards of his hard work now.
I think that story also illustrates the importance of setting goals. All the members of the class of 2012 have things in their life that they wish to accomplish. Setting and working towards goals will help ensure that we are at a place in our lives that we want to be when we come back for our 20-year class reunion.
We know from past experience that we will need the help of others in order to achieve our goals. It wasn't just the students who put in hard work in order for us to be here today.
Not at all. We did not get to here where we are alone. For every student sitting here tonight, there are numerous parents, teachers, mentors, and friends who have dedicated themselves to helping us accomplish what we needed to in order to graduate.
We should speak for the class of 2012 in expressing our gratitude to those who have helped our class be here today.
Definitely. I suppose the first group we want to thank for the class of 2012 are the teachers who have affected our lives. Each one has helping us succeed their profession.
It's really too bad that we won't be able to thank them individually. We each have had teachers who have deeply impacted our lives and inspired us in various ways.
We shouldn't forget that the school administration and support staff either. Although they aren't as visible as the teachers, their service is an important part of our school.
Furthermore, the community members deserve recognition. Without them, school as we know it would not be possible.
Okay, Josh, that might be a little too cheesy. School as we know it would not be possible. Isn't that a bit of an exaggeration?
No, not really. They paid the taxes that funded the construction of the New South and pay for all the other expenses associated with public education.
Well said, I guess you're right. Finally, we have to give an enormous thank you to all the parents and guardians who have nurtured and cared for our class during this formative time in our lives. They have spent just as long working to help us exceed our maximum potential as we have. We truly would not be here without them. Thank you, parents.
Is there a final message you'd like to give the class of 2012, Tyler?
Moving forward, my wish for the class of 2012 is for them to retain the sense of perseverance and resolve to hard work that they have demonstrated throughout the years thus far.
Well said. I agree.
What about you, Josh? Any last words for the class of 2012?
I'd say this is as good a time as any for a Lord of the Rings quote. Bilbo Baggins once said, "It's a dangerous business, Frodo, going out your door. You step into the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no telling where you might be swept off to."
Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2012.